Hey, what's up, everyone? This is me, Dre. It's on CNN.com, and I was checking out this story. Actually, I had read about it some time ago, where it's an article based out of Leith, North Dakota. This gentleman, let me get his name, Paul Craig Cobb. He's a white supremacist, and he moved into a town at the time of 24, and he was wanting to buy up properties so that he can sell to people of like mind. Because he's a white supremacist, he's not one of those extremists that likes to go around and want to lynch a brother or have all kinds of rallies against other ethnicities. He just wants to have a community in which non-whites are not welcome. Now, this community of 24, it has one black resident. There's a gentleman who's in an interracial marriage. So I saw the article, it was about 2 months ago, where he said that they had met. The black guy and Cobb, they had an encounter. It wasn't anything negative. They just wouldn't face each other as they spoke. And Cobb was speaking to the black gentleman's wife about the interest in potentially selling their land, which was declined. Now, the thing about this story is that people in this community, they are not keen on the fact that you have this person, an outsider, coming in and wanting to bring this kind of negative attention to their town. It's a small town. It's got a very wholesome feel to it. And now you have this gentleman that's basically poking at the hornet's nest and causing all kinds of turmoil. And that's what a lot of the residents are concerned with. Me personally, I think the motherfucker's stupid. He has been ousted from Canada. He's a wanted man. And when I'm reading the article and seeing the video clips and everything, they're talking about the fact that Cobb is not welcome in a lot of countries because of his extreme racist views. Now, we all understand that there's going to be racism everywhere. There's racism amongst blacks. There's racism amongst whites. There's racism amongst Asians, Hispanics. There's racism all over the place. It is a poison that infects a lot of communities. So not to say that all white people are racist, because as I stated in a lot of my videos, my best friend is white. His wife, good old country girl, the sweetest person that I know. And my wife and hers, they really clicked. They didn't really get a chance to know each other when we got married. But once my wife got to sit down with her, she realized how much of a sweetheart she is. So you can't really judge a book by its cover. And I don't look at a white person and think anything negative about them, because quite honestly, you can look at any one person and you can tell a story about something stupid that someone from their race has done. It's something that you see in the news all the time. It's something that you've read out of history. So I don't judge any one person based on the color of their skin. I can get along with anyone. Me living down here in South Texas, this is a high population of Hispanics. There are a couple of us brothers sprinkled around here. There's whites, there's Asians, there's Middle Easterns. When I walk around, all I do is I see a person, someone that stands upright like I do, someone that I can communicate with and they can communicate in return with me. So I don't judge a person because of what their nationality or their ethnicity is. If we can speak and communicate and get along and respect one another, that's the most important thing for me. I have trust issues, so there are some white people I don't trust. There are some black people I don't trust. Living down here in the Rio Grande Valley, at some of the jobs that I work with, there's a lot of Mexicans that I don't trust. There's also Asians that I don't trust. There's a lot of people from a lot of ethnicities that I don't trust, but there's also a lot of people from a lot of ethnicities that I totally get along with. But back to this story, I see more negativity and a lot of things backfiring for Cobb, primarily because this is a story that's starting to get a bit of traction. People of like mind, yes, they want to live there because they want a pure white community, and it's the intention so that Cobb, he can get the majority vote because he's going to own most of the property, or he's selling a lot of the property. People are going to look at him as the man to go to, like the mayor of the town, to take over the mayor that's already there. And the negative part about this is you can't stop people from going where they want to go. Now me, because my wife is Mexican, we always joke around when we look at stuff on the news, things happening from other countries and different states, where they might speak about Hispanics being like in Alaska or over in Asia or Europe. And my wife, she makes a comment about, wow, I can't believe that they're over there. And I'm always thinking, look, you can't keep a Mexican anywhere, just like you can't keep a brother out of certain places. We're going to get around. And if this gentleman is trying to have a whole, just a purely white community, it's not going to work. And I'm going to tell you why. That kind of national attention, it's going to prompt people of other colors to go into that town, and they're going to go in groups. Now, it might have a negative backlash. Hopefully, it's something that wouldn't turn to violence. It's not to say that when someone that's not white goes into a community, all of a sudden hell breaks loose, violence erupts, chaos ensues. But to make a stand against this kind of racism and closed-mindedness, people of other ethnicities are going to end up going to this town to prove that you're not going to be able to run them away. That's how I see it. And then Cobb, he's going to try to take a stand. Now, he tries to say that he takes a nonviolent approach. But when you look at this, you got to consider that with the one black resident that lives there, they're trying to make it to where he's not welcome. And even Cobb said himself where non-whites are not welcome. So to Cobb, I'm already comfortable being down here in South Texas. I'm not trying to lead any type of revolt or anything, but I can say fuck you all the way from the Rio Grande Valley, because if you get your way, I can assure you with 1,000% certainty that there's nothing that's going to stop blacks, Asians, Hispanics from going up to that community and wanting to basically plant themselves there and start their own businesses and things like that. There's no way that you're going to have a whole white community. There are some places where there's a higher white populace, but in most communities, not all, but most, you are going to see a mix of blacks, whites, Asians, Hispanics, Middle Easterns. I'm not going to say a melting pot, but this is America. And in most places that you're going to walk, you're going to see someone of color. And as I stated, I have nothing against white people. I'm not going to sit there and call them names or anything negative. My main thing is, as long as you don't try to harm me and mine, I'm not going to fuck with you and yours. It's just that simple. I try to respect everyone. I know it's hard to get that respect in return because people can act like bitches, but to try to say that we're going to have a strictly white community, just like someone black saying they want a strictly black community, from a business standpoint and just from growth altogether, there's going to be money from different sources, from people of different colors. That's the only way to grow from an economic standpoint. So I'm not one of those pro-blacks to where I say give black businesses black money only. It just doesn't work that way. That method is trying to be utilized, and it's not working to 100% effectiveness. I love my black people. Some of them are trifling as fuck, but I can easily say the same thing about my Mexican side from my family that's Mexican, as not them, but just Hispanics. But I can also say it about whites, Asians, Hispanics. I've been around just about everyone, and everyone's got a little bit of ratchetness in them. Anyway, I'm going to cut this video short. I'm going to leave a link to this video so that you guys can check it out. And if you like this video, I hope that you like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to leave your comments. Peace.